Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Saturday, November the 23rd. Starting out with the Seattle Kraken, Jordan Eberle, who's been out since I think it's the 15th since he last played. And he's had surgery on his pelvis, so pelvic surgery, and he's out a minimum of 3 months. For Seattle, a team that's, right near that playoff line, they're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to get used to life without him for a while. Minimum of 3 months means it could be longer, and that eats up a large part of the season schedule. So it will be interesting to see how Seattle does without him in their lineup. Darnell Nurse returns tonight against the Rangers, a team that Connor McDavid has great stats against. I think it's 26 points in 13 games in his career against the Rangers. So for Nurse being back in the lineup, Bouchard's 50-50, so they might get one defenseman back and they might lose another. Last I saw, the Bouchard injury is basically undisclosed. Doesn't look like it's anything major, but he may very well be held out tonight. We'll see what they do. Patrick Laine continues his progression towards a return. He was at practice in a non-contact jersey, so starting to get into practice. And I would say probably a week and a half away. Usually when they're in practice in a non-contact jersey, they're close. The question becomes one of when you get into the full contact, how are they going to respond there? And we'll be discussing this again before this video is done, at the very least about players in non-contact jerseys. Interesting recall by the Nashville Predators. They've recalled Svechkov. He was a first rounder in 2021. As I remember it, because I did a video on him before he was drafted, he's seen as he was seen before he was drafted as a pretty good two-way forward. So we'll see how Svechkov's progressed and, what the future looks like for Nashville, a team that needs some more goals. And if Svechkov can provide that, he may find himself a spot in the lineup for a while. Brock Boeser, good news for Canuck fans, is they're dealing with some key injuries. Demko, Boeser, two really key injuries. Of course, JT Miller on leave of absence right now. There's a lot of names that are not currently playing for the Vancouver Canucks, who they're missing a lot. So Boeser coming back to practice yesterday in a non-contact jersey is good news. Again, you're looking at a week to 10 days for likely, anyways, when they're in the non-contact jersey, it's usually about a week. So getting Boeser back in the lineup would be potentially huge for a Vancouver team that has had its ups and downs so far this year and have not had good luck with injuries this year. They did last year. Last year, the Vancouver Canucks had very few key injuries. This year, they've had some, and they're just in that right spot to inflict the maximum amount of damage to their attack. And in Demko's case, of course, to their goaltending. No offense to Lankinen or Shelovs, but Demko is on a level above. Gettinger put on waivers by the Detroit Red Wings. I'd be very, very surprised if he gets claimed. Gettinger, he was drafted back in, I think it's 2018, 2016 maybe even. So he's basically a bottom six forward at most at the NHL level. I think he's very likely going to clear and end up getting sent down to Grand Rapids. So they're having PWHL games on tour, and a good sign is the fact the Vancouver one sold out already. Tickets went on sale to the public, I think it was just yesterday. There was a pre-sale before that for a couple of days. I'm not going. Went back and forth on it. It would have been the whole family, so just from a cost perspective, I felt like right now I don't know that I can justify that amount of money going to a PWHL game. But saying that, the tickets are not expensive, or were not expensive. So I think they're taking advantage of that a little bit, that it is a more affordable game to go to, certainly than the Vancouver Canucks, and I would think a lot of NHL teams. In the upper bowl, it was like $39 a ticket. So yeah, it's definitely an affordable game, and it's sold out very, very quickly. So when the PWHL gets to expanding by a couple of teams, we may see further expansion pretty quickly. There is clearly an appetite for PWHL women's hockey in North America, and with Vancouver selling out that quickly, hopefully Vancouver's on the radar. I think you could put a team in Vancouver, a team in Seattle, a team in LA. I think you could have 3 teams on the West Coast, which would help to reduce travel costs and times a little bit. You can't just put one team on the West Coast. Though at points in time, the NHL has not always been so forward thinking with that either. But at any rate, PWHL, good on them for the sellout, and I would think it's going to be a great game. It's Toronto and Montreal. It is Joe Thornton Day in San Jose, although he jokingly said he'd like it to be Joe Thornton weekend. He's pushing for that. But yeah, the jersey retirements tonight. It looks like it's like an all-day party in San Jose. They are having the actual beginning of all the ceremonial stuff and everything. I think it's early this afternoon. So yeah, tonight's game, his numbers going to the rafters. I would think this ceremony probably is going to take a while. It may end up delaying the start of the game. But yeah, Joe Thornton, a legend on his way to the Hall of Fame, and I think retiring his jersey is a no-brainer for San Jose. Kirill Kaprizov. So through the first quarter of the season, or at least close to being through the first quarter, Kaprizov's currently considered the front runner for the Hart. And I don't know that I can make an argument against that. Plus, with the news now that the salary cap could go up a lot more than what was expected, Minnesota's become a team to watch this coming off season, because that penalty they've been dealing with for years, that drops a lot. And so Minnesota could be in a position to add substantial pieces to their roster after this season. And during this season, they look like a contender right now. So it's been a pretty good year for the Minnesota Wild so far. And Kaprizov deserves a ton of credit for it. I agree that he is the front runner for the Hart Trophy. But let me know your thoughts. Who would you give the Hart Trophy to if you were handing it out right now? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for watching. I also wanted to throw in the Chicago-Philly game is done. I'm not reviewing that one on its own. I will be reviewing the 3 early matinee games on their own, and then the other 12 games will be a review of its own tonight. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as I stated. Thanks for all your support as always. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.